Every day you're in the same cycle. Wake up, go to work, go back home. Wake up, go to work, go back home. Wake up, go to work, go back home. And then you wait for the weekend. Listen, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling stagnant, complacent, then listen to this video and I will give you exact tools to get out of that complacency and make that change in your life. Now, this one is going to apply to your professional life, in your skill set, in maybe a hobby that you're enjoying, something that you're trying to perfect and master and get better at. If this is in your professional life, it's build a better business, be a stronger leader. A lot of the times as you grow and get better at a certain skill set or a certain profession or business or whatever it may be, you lose yourself in that process. What I mean by lose yourself is sometimes you forget the basics and the fundamentals for what got you to where you are now. I guarantee you, if you go back to the basics and you study, which most of the times is just having the mindset, because typically in the beginning phases when you're learning about a skill or business or profession, you're gonna wanna cover the mindset aspect. If you go back to that and you study the mindset and you study the fundamentals and the roots, I guarantee you, if you're feeling stuck or stagnant and you sharpen up those fundamentals, you will not only spark an energy, but you will see adjustments, tweaks, and new angles that you can take to get you over that hump. So highly recommend go back to the basics, study those, and strengthen that root to get you over that next hump. The next thing I would say is going to be getting yourself in a community of like-minded people that's focused on whatever goal you may be targeting towards, whether it's business, you want to get better at a certain sport, whether it's getting better at sales, leadership. Get inside of a group, a community of like-minded individuals that can hold you accountable. And if you see people who are facing the same challenges as you, but what happened is you bounce ideas off each other and how to overcome how they overcame their challenges, so it can almost fast track you there. So encourage you to get inside of a community. If you're feeling stuck, I would look at the fundamentals, then B, try to get involved in a community of like-minded to push you to the next level. Thirdly, listen, sometimes you just need a refresher. You may need to take a vacation. You may need to disconnect, get off the grid for a little bit, stop working, stop on that certain craft. Because I've noticed when you're bang, 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 sometimes it's not even burnout. Sometimes I would say that it's just you're doing too much of one thing for too long, a prolonged period of time. And sometimes it's better that you take a break, you step back, and then you come back when you return at full force. So try taking a break, disconnecting, disengaging, and I guarantee you'll snap out of that rut and that complacency that you're in. So while these are great, we talked about community, getting back to the basics, and then taking a breather, taking a step back, right? If you're in that grind, let's talk for a minute about someone who hasn't necessarily started anything. Maybe they want to get started, but they feel complacent because they're in a chapter in their life where they're kind of stuck. They have all these new great ideas. Well, what I would tell that person is sit down with yourself, figure out what exactly are your goals. Do you want to make more money? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you want to be able to give back to a community? Do you want to be a professional athlete, a teacher, or scientist? Whatever the case may be, what are your goals? Sit down with yourself, write it down, and then whatever new ideas that you've been pondering and you're ambitious, but you're lazy or you don't know how to start, jot them down and say to yourself, these are the avenues that I'm going to take. These are the next actionable steps. I would write down 2 to 3 actionable steps that would get you on the path and execute on those actionable steps. At the end of the day, it's really a conversation that you have to have with yourself. And a lot of the times to get you out of this rut, you need to stop for a moment, reflect, look at your goals, and say to yourself, where do I truly want to be? From that point, you develop the actionable steps, attack on those. This is really when I would immediately step into a community of like-minded individuals that can hold me accountable to that goals. Because if you know one thing about a lazy, ambitious person, is that they're great at starting things, but following through is something that they have a lot of trouble with. So with accountability, it can kind of take that and formulate that and help them continually grow. So these are the tools, the strategies, the philosophies that I highly recommend. If you are stuck, you want to get out of that rut, go back to your basics, develop a game plan, actionable steps, get inside of a community. And sometimes it's good just to disconnect and disengage. So we'll see you in the next video, bringing you value every single week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's rock and roll.